Hello, good evening to all.
Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
Good evening,
good
Good
evening,
sir.
good
evening,
evening.
sir.
Good evening.
Good
Just
evening.
wait 2 to 3
Good evening,
minutes.
sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening to everyone. Just wait 2 to 3 minutes, then we start.
ଜାଣିଥିଲି
Okay.
ଜାଣିଥିଲି ଠିକରେ ଥିଲା ବୋଧେ ଜାଣିଛି
Okay, just wait.
Sudarshana, please put your mic on mute.
ମତେ
So can you start, please?
Hello, good evening to all. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening,
Okay,
sir.
Good evening,
good
sir.
evening. Good evening. Okay, welcome to Literary Criticism and Theory. That is MEG-5, Block 6. Block 6. And discussion is feminist theory. Feminist theories. Okay. Block 6, feminist theory. So, as earlier I have been discussing with you, taking some important prime points in short, today also the same. So, listen it mindfully, some important points about what's that's just right now I'm going to present before you. Then after we will discuss everything as usual. So, how
Excuse
do you
me,
know
sir.
feminist? Discussion is
Excuse me, sir.
feminist. Hello,
Excuse me, sir.
hello.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, okay.
Sir, which block?
Block 6.
But sir, in
Block
MEG-5,
6.
in
MEG 5, Block 6.
volume 1 or volume 2, sir?
That is volume 1 to I can speak, but Block 6. Okay.
But there is
Block
no block
6.
That's
6, sir.
volume 2, sir. Sir,
Volume
volume
two.
2. That is in volume
Yeah,
2.
okay. So you see, is that suppose MEG1 has also 8 blocks, 2 also, so each MEG has 8 blocks. So MEG5 also has 8 blocks. Already we have completed 5 last class. Today the 6 block wise discussion. Block 1 was an introduction. Block 2, okay, as per you were saying, unit what you speak is also right. Unit that's the second block. Unit 3 the second third block, in this way as per you were saying, you are right also. Okay, so feminist theory. So at first we have to discuss what is feminist. Am I audible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay. You see, we'll see whether the last day I felt pain. Also, day for today. You see, because if I'm speaking loudly, so after 1 hour or one and half an hour. So again, also feeling the same. Let's see today what's happening. Okay. So at first we have to understand feminist. What do you mean by feminist? The very typical meaning of the word feminist is an advocate of women's rights, an advocate, supporter of women's right on the basis of equality of the sexes. A person who supports feminism is called a feminist. To get me, a person who supports feminism is called a feminist. So, what is feminism? An advocate of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes. Okay, so that is the ordinary meaning of feminist and also feminism. Okay, means equality of the sexes, equality of the sexes. So, what is the real meaning of feminism? What is the real meaning of feminism? Quite simply, feminism is about all genders having equal rights and opportunities. It's about respecting diverse women's experiences, identities, knowledge, and strengths, and
Sir,
striving.
it's about.
It's about respecting diverse women's experiences. Diversing. Okay.
Sir, can you please
Di-
repeat that again?
Diverse.
Feminism is about all gender having equal rights and opportunities.
Opportunities, full stop. It's as if I am
Yes,
asking you to take note of. It's about respecting diverse women's experiences, identities, knowledge, and strengths, and striving to empower all women to realize their full rights. Get it? Again, repeating, because at the very outset, if I just make you clear or crystal clear, so it will be easy, rather easier. So quite simply, feminism is about all genders having equal rights and opportunities. Equal rights, okay, because inequality is seen, so we have to make it equal. Okay, in every sphere of activity, having equal rights and opportunities. It's about respecting diverse women's experiences, identities, knowledge, and strengths, and striving to empower, means to engage them in some power, so give them powers, striving to empower all women to realize their full rights. Okay, that's the meaning of real feminism. And what is an example of feminism? Feminism movements have campaigned and continue to campaign for women's rights. Feminism movements have campaigned and continue to campaign for women's rights, including the right to vote. Listen it, important, including the right to vote, run for public office, work, earn equal pay, own property, receive education, receive receive education, uh, enter contracts, have equal rights within marriage and maternity leave. Okay, again repeating because important. What is an example of feminism? Feminism movements have campaigned and continue to campaign for women's rights, including the right to vote, run for public office, work, earn equal pay, own property, receive education, enter contracts, have equal rights within marriage and maternity leave. Maternity means motherhood or the period during pregnancy and shortly after giving offsprings or childbirth. Shortly after childbirth. Okay. So now, what is feminism? What is feminism? What is feminism? Feminism is an interdisciplinary. Feminism is an interdisciplinary approach
Sir, please
to
repeat.
feminism is an interdisciplinary approach to issues of equality and equity based on gender expressions. Based on gender expressions, gender identity, sex, and sexuality as understood through social theories and political activism. And political
Sir, please repeat
activism.
that again. Actually, I couldn't understand that and I couldn't get you point that.
Okay, very good. Again speaking for your clear cut understanding. Don't be worry and sorry. Be very cherry and merry. Okay, you see, that's feminism is an interdisciplinary approach to to issues of equality. Interdisciplinary approach to issues of equality and equity based on gender expression, gender identity. As earlier I told, that's the real meaning of feminism. Real meaning of feminism. It's about respecting diverse women's experiences, identities. Okay, so on and so forth. So also here, based on gender expression, gender identity, sex, and sexuality as understood through social theories, because we have the that types of feminism later on we'll discuss what is socialist feminism, okay, everything that we have. So slowly and gradually we'll discuss everything. Sure, that is socialist theory, social theories, and political activism and political activism. Although largely originated in the West, although that theory largely originated, I mean, came into being in the West, feminism is manifested, means clearly stated worldwide, and is represented by various institutions committed to activity on behalf of women's rights and interest. On behalf of women's rights and interest. Women's rights and interest. That's a feminists raise their voice. Throughout,
The various
throughout,
institutions after
hello,
that, represented by various institutions, then
committed to activity on behalf of women's rights and interest. What you desire, what you think. Okay, so your dream is to be fulfilled. If you have a dream, it's becoming unfulfilled, so it is to be fulfilled. Okay,
Sir, please repeat from feminist is, sir.
feminist, although largely originated in the West, feminism is manifested worldwide and is represented by various institutions committed to activity on behalf of women's rights and interests. Okay, throughout most of Western history, throughout most of Western history, women were confined to the domestic. Women were confined to the domestic sphere, while while throughout most of Western history, women were confined to the domestic spheres. Means always
Sir, that
remaining
is
in the
confirmed. Sir, that is confirmed or confined?
uh, I said confined, sorry. We are confined to the domestic sphere. Means they are confined to the four walls of the construction, not allowed to go anywhere. Okay, what's doing inside? And okay, so it's a very traditional process. It's okay. Sure. Also nowadays, the same thing is happening in the town down vibes. Okay, so history, women were confined to the domestic sphere while public life was reserved for men. Okay, they are not allowed to do anything outside. That's inside the house. That's public life was reserved for men. In medieval Europe, women were denied the right to own property. Okay, they can't get any property. Okay, they can't own any
Sir, in
property.
medieval, that means in Europe, they prohibited women to get any properties, right?
Yes. We are denied to the right to own property, to study, even if study nowadays, you see, you are there, you are at anywhere, getting a scope to know everything. Also enroll your name in higher studies. Okay, you are getting ample of opportunities, But in those days, it was quite devoid of. So, women were denied the right to own property, to study, or to participate in public life. If anything was happening outside, so they are denied to go directly. Okay, they're not accompanying their husbands or with any near and dear ones of their family. So they are confining themselves in the four walls of the construction. So women were denied the right to own property, to study, or to participate in public life. At the end of 19th century, at the end of 19th century, in France, they were still compelled to cover their heads in public and in parts of Germany.
Sir,
Even
please
that's
repeat that last line. In the end of 19th
at,
century in
at
France.
the end of 19th century in Europe, at the end of 19th century in Europe, sorry, in France, at the end of 19th
France.
century, France, they were still compelled. Who? The women. The women were still compelled to cover their heads in public and in parts of Germany. Okay, they're just drawing their veil. Okay, covering their heads nowadays also happening. Uh, Heads in public and in parts of Germany. A husband still had the right to sell his wife. What a strange. A husband still had the right to sell his wife. If any untoward situation is going to happen or has already been happened, sure, the husband had the right to sell his wife. Even as late as early 20th century, even as late as early 20th century, women could neither vote nor hold elective office. Sorry, women could neither vote nor hold elective office in Europe and in most of the United States, where several where several territories
Sir,
and hello,
sir, a husband still to sell her wife.
sell his wife, sell his wife. Is it now possible nowadays?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, 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 impossible. Okay, if possible, women are there to starve them. Okay, uh, well, when they will starve, the woman will starve, kill. Not they will be stabbed, they will stab. Okay, so even as late as the early 20th century, women could neither vote nor hold elective office in Europe and in most of the United States, where several territories and states granted women suffrage. Suffrage means the right to vote in political election. Okay,
Sir, where
suffrage
several
means,
after
SUFF suffrage means the right to vote.
sir after several
Telling after um, that is territories and states granted women suffrage. Europe and in most of the United States, where several territories and states granted women's suffrage long before. Means women cannot be allowed to cast their vote. Okay? Political election. They will not go to stand beside the political election and express their interest. Okay?
Sir, both
So,
in US and Europe, this type of tradition was going on at that time.
yes. So, that's suffrage long before the federal government do so. Women were prevented from conducting business. Women were prevented from conducting business without a male representative. Nowadays, women are opening shops everywhere. Okay, but in those days, they can't. If their husband gives them the permission, they can open, they can do, they can go outside. Okay, uh, meets and achieved. So that is if women were prevented from conducting business without a male representative, be it father, brother, husband, legal agent, or even son, whoever she may be. A male representative, whoever she may be, a male representative, maybe woman's father or mother or brother or legal agent or even son. Okay, so with them, the women can go and conduct a business outside. Married women could not exercise control over their own children. Okay, you see, these are the conditions that the condition was very precarious, heartrending, unimaginable. But just to got now
Sir,
everything
after married
from the
woman, what you
beginning.
told, sir? Please repeat.
Married women would not exercise control over their own children without the permission of their husband. You see how precarious they were. It's very heartrending, tear shedding. Moreover, women had little or no access to education and were barred from most profession. They
Sir,
can join
please
in
repeat
any.
that line again.
Moreover, women had little or no access to education. Means they can go up in get in scope to read in any educational institutions, and they're barred from most profession. In some parts of the world, in some parts of the world, such restrictions on women continue today. Nowadays also, we see such restrictions on women in some parts of the world. Okay, the remote areas, the remote areas, we also witnessing the same situation. Then history
Sir,
of a feminism.
women had little
Hello?
or no access to education, and there after that I couldn't post something you said.
Education and were banned from most profession. I mean, they can't go outside to do any job. Nowadays, you are getting that scope. You are at here or at abroad or getting any job. Okay, moving through the air also. Okay.
Sir,
Uh,
sir, you called that one excise control, or that is exercise control over the children?
exercise control. Could not exercise control. Could not. Women could not
Sir, what
exercise
was the
control.
meaning of that
Uh,
line?
women could not exercise control over their own children without the permission of their husbands. Means, suppose a son is uh, following the wrong path. Okay, is becoming very very naughty, harmful. So nowadays, mothers have the right to control it, to give them guidance, or even punish them. But in those days, mothers neither can guide nor can punish. What to speak of others? Okay, if then they have to take the permission or bring the permission from their husband. That's so now history of a feminism. History of feminism. History of feminism. There is scant evidence of purely organized protest against such circumscribed status. There is scant evidence of yearly organized protest against such circumscribed status. That rebellion proved exceptional. However, for most of recorded history, only isolated voices spoke out against the inferior status of women, presaging, presaging the arguments to come. In late 14th and
Sir,
early
please
15th
repeat from
century,
start, sir. Please. There is
presaging
can't
the
evidence of early organized protest.
early organized protest against such circumscribed status. That rebellion means protest, proved exceptional. However, for most of recorded history, only isolated voice spoke out against the inferior status of women, presaging the arguments to come in late 14th and early 15th century. That's very strong philosopher uh, or staunch follower of that feminism challenged prevailing attitude towards women with a bold call means strong call. That why? Because this type of operations, suppressions should not be given to the women. Okay, so that is challenged. A very staunch follower of the feminism challenged prevailing attitude towards women. That's ongoing attitude towards women with a bold call for female education because they are deprived of getting education for female education. The defense of women, the defense of women had become a literary subject by the end of the 16th century. Defenders of the status quo, you know, status quo means the existing state of affairs mainly regarding social or political issues. Status quo means the existing state of affairs mainly or basically regarding social or political issues. So, the defense of women had become a literary subject by the end of the 16th century. Defenders of the status quo point, painted women, depending on those who are defending, defenders of the status quo, the existing system, state of affairs, those who are defending that prevailing condition, prevailing, trending condition of the women, uh, painted women as a superficial and inherently immoral.
Sir,
While
repeat that last line.
defenders of the status quo painted women as superficial and inherently immoral, while emerging feminist produced, emerging feminist produced means emerging means that's emerging feminist, strong feminist produced long list of women of courage and accomplishments and proclaimed that women would be the intellectual equals of men. Women would be the intellectual equals of men if they were given equal access to education. Some protested that it's very superficial, okay, it should not be implemented, and some emerging feminists raised their voice that women should be provided everything. They are everything. They are fit for doing everything. So if we give them some chance, they can excel. Okay. So we are given equal access to education. So the so-called debate about because a debate went on. A debate was going on that time. Those who are not in favor of, who are in favor of. The so-called debate about women did not reach England until the late 16th century, when pamphleteers, when pamphleteers,
Excuse me, sir. Sir, in England, which time you said?
16th century in England, that is 16th century until the late 16th century, until the late 16th century, when pamphleteers means a writer of pamphlets, particularly once uh, of a political and controversial nature. Pamphlet means a brochure, a booklet, or you can also call it as a leaflet, containing information or argument about a single subject. Suppose you have no idea about how to take admission in MEG. Sorry, IGNO. So you have to purchase a booklet where you are getting information about a single subject, how to start, how to go, where to bring everything, and how to take admission from the very beginning till the end. The information that is contained is called booklet or leaflet. That is called pamphlet. So pamphlet means a writer of pamphlets. Okay. So that is the so-called debate about women didn't didn't reach England until the late 16th century, when pamphleteers and polemicists, polemicist means a person who joined or engages in controversial debates, a person who joins or engages himself in controversial uh, debates. Polemicists show polemicists joined battle over the true nature of womanhood. After a series of satiric pieces, after a series of satiric pieces, PIECES, mocking women was published. Pieces mocking women was published. The first feminist pamphleteer, the first
Sir,
feminist
please
pamphlet,
repeat after.
after
Sir, please.
after after a series of satirical pieces, uh, then they came to the limelight. Uh, the first feminist pamphleteer, the first feminist pamphleteer means a writer of the pamphlets, especially ones of a political and controversial nature. At the very beginning, who wrote about that? So, the first feminist pamphleteer in England writing as Jane Anger, J- Jane, Jane Anger. That is feminist pamphleteer. He that's she at first she at the very first wrote a pamphlet about women. Jane Anger responded with Jane Anger, her protection for women, that is 1589, the volley of opinion, the volley means a number of beliefs, a number of beliefs. This volley of opinion continued for more than a century until another English author, meaning Astell, issued a more rigid rejoinder. Okay, so here she was the first feminist activist. Okay, this volley of opinion means a number of beliefs that he just wrote in his book. This volley of opinion continued for more than a century until another English author, feminist activist, that's Minnie Astell, issued a more rigid rejoinder in a series of proposal to the ladies. Okay, just they gave their proposal in form of writing. This should be implemented. This should not be done. This should be instantly done. Okay, so they gave their opinions, spread their opinions in form of writings. So a series of proposal to the ladies, that is 1694 to 1697. They just gave who the first feminist critic, then the second. In these ways, a series of proposals given by a series of feminist critics to, to the ladies, that is 1694 to 1697. The two-volume work suggested that women inclined neither towards marriage. The two-volume work suggested, two books suggested that women inclined neither towards marriage nor a religious vocation should set up secular means not connected with a religion or spiritual matters, non-religious. Secular means non-religious. So, marriage nor a religious vocation should set up secular convents where they might live, study, and teach.
Sir, please repeat that again. Towards marriage.
Towards marriage, nor a religious vocation should be established. Secular convents where they might live, study, and uh, teach. So now features of a feminist literary critique. Features, characteristics. Because after that we have to also touch in some important points. That's the types of feminism and
Sir,
everything that
excuse
Sir,
we
me,
have.
you mean
excuse me, sir. What is
Hello.
the title of the book? You said the two-volume work suggested that women inclined neither towards marriage, uh,
Uh-huh. Okay, I have
not.
not mentioned I have not mentioned the book. Okay, I'm giving you the information what you told. Okay,
Yes, the
then
title of the book. What is it?
okay, title. Okay, I'm giving supplying. So now features of I have not written here the title of the two books written by the two feminist activists giving. So features of feminist literary criticism. Features or characteristics of feminist literary criticism. Feminism has transformed. Feminism has feminism has transformed The academic study of literature, fundamentally altering the canon means principles. Canon means principle. Canon of what is taught and setting new agents for a literary analysis. In this authoritative history, in
Sir,
this
sir, of literature is taught in such.
literature, um, fundamentally altering the canon means principle laws of what is taught and setting new agents for a literary analysis. In this authoritative history of a feminist literary criticism, leading scholars chart the development of practice from the Middle Ages to the present. The first section of the book, the first section of the book explores proto-feminist thought. Proto-feminist thought. Proto-feminist means proto-feminist, a concept that anticipates modern feminism. Proto-feminist means a concept, a belief, an idea that anticipates modern feminism when the feminist concept as such was still unknown. Okay, still unknown. So that is called proto feminist thought from the Meenakshi Sharma Yadav, that's feminist. Okay, stands for follower of feminist. Feminist literary, according to that, okay, lady, Meenakshi Sharma Yadav, feminist literary criticism is a literary criticism, feminist literary criticism is a literary criticism knowledgeable by feminist theory or more broadly by the politics of feminism. It uses feminist principles. It uses feminist principles and ideology to speak the language of literature. This school of thought seeks to analyze and
The
describe
language of
language of literature. This school of thought seeks to analyze and describe the ways seeks to analyze and describe the ways in which literature portrays the narratives of male domination by exploring the economic, social, political, and other activities. It was not an early task. It was not an early task to convince the patriarchal society. Patriarchal means a system of a government or society in which the father or eldest male is the head of the family. Patriarchal. It was not an early task to convince the patriarchal society to give women the same rights and opportunities as men, because men were enjoying everything. As earlier I told at the very outset some important lines that women couldn't do that, women couldn't do that, they are barred from doing that. Okay, they were devoid of getting all sorts of amenities. All this that you knew at the very outset. So that women the same rights and opportunities as men. Women struggled for ages and ages. Women struggled for ages and have been fighting for almost a century for their rights. Okay, for a long time, from the very inception, they have been struggling to get there or for getting their privileges, powers and privileges, but devoid of. The term feminism highlights the term feminism highlights their oppression. The term feminism highlights their oppression, and this term has been used in every campaign that calls to abolish women's suffrage. Women's suffrage means the right to vote. The right to vote. Suffrage means the right to vote in political election. Okay, means women were denied to just cast their vote at the time of election. Nowadays, it's impossible.
Excuse me, sir.
So,
Sir,
hello,
sir,
hello.
here you are saying that feminism that highlights their opportunity, like to give they are telling to society to give their rights towards the women to give their vote, right?
Yes, yes. Now,
Okay.
feminist just state that w- women should do everything. Women should be given all the opportunities. But prior to that, women were confining themselves in the four walls of the construction. They're not getting any scopes to do anything. Okay, always confined in the four walls of the construction, not allowed to go anywhere. If permission was required, they have to seek permission from the male members of the family. Okay, well, so that is their oppression, and the term has been used in every campaign that calls to abolish women's suffrage during the last decades of the 19th century. Feminism is one of the most influential movements and dynamic philosophies in history. For it made an impact on literary works, politics, and all aspects of a society. It started before the 1960 with major literary works such as Mary Wollstonecraft, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, that Mary Wollstonecraft has written a book on a vindication of the rights of women, and another also feminist, um, Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, and Simon de Beauvoir, The Second Sex. Okay, so they have written their own opinions in all these books. Mary Wollstonecraft, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, Mary Wollstonecraft married Mary Wollstonecraft's married name, Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin, born April 27, 1759, London, died September 10,
Sir,
1797.
please say that born time and death time.
Born 1759, died 1797. Okay, London. English writer and passionate advocate of educational and social equality for women. He was an English writer and a passionate, very staunch follower of the uh, feminist, what you call, and passionate advocate of educational and social equality for women. Okay, means she tried a lot, she fought a lot for giving that's equal opportunities to women. She outlined her beliefs. She outlined her beliefs in a vindication of the rights of women 1792, because died in 97. So prior to that, 1792, considered a classic of feminism. Means wrote a book on feminism. In 1788, she began working as a translator for the London publisher Joseph Johnson. In 1788, that lady, Mary Wollstonecraft, uh, began working as a translator for the London publisher Joseph Johnson, who published several of her works, including the novel Mary, a fiction, 1788. Okay, because she was the
Sir,
publisher of Joseph.
in 1788, Mary William began, excuse me, sir. Sir,
Uh,
as a translator in England, then
uh, Even then, considered a classic of feminism, he wrote many books on feminism. In 1788, she began working as a translator, translating perhaps, for the London publisher Joseph Johnson. Okay, there had a publishing house in London, so she worked there as a translator, and who published several of her works. Where she was working, that publisher Joseph Johnson published many writings of Mary Wollstonecraft works, including the novel Mary, a fiction, 1788. Her mature work on women's place in society is a vindication of the rights of women. Okay, her mature work, the work written by Mary Wollstonecraft on women's place in society is a women's place in society, a vindication of the rights of women, 1792. Died in 97, which calls for women and men to be educated equally. In that book, she wrote, you just got now, to be educated equally. In 1792, Wollstonecraft left England to observe the French Revolution. In Paris, where she lived with an American captain, Gilbert Imlay. Wollstonecraft returned to London to work again for Johnson. Where at the very beginning he worked. At the very first, he just worked as a translator for the London publisher Joseph Johnson. After some years, he she disappeared, again appeared, and uh, joined with that man, Joseph Johnson, publisher, London publisher. Okay, after returning. So, returned to London to work again for Johnson and joined an influential radical group. Joined joined in an influential radical group. A complete radical means complete change from the very beginning, grassroots level, which gathered all his home and included William Godwin, Thomas Paine, Thomas uh, Holbrook, William Blake, and after 1793, William Wordsworth. Means he came in contact with all these important influential writers and gained a lot from them, got a lot of hopes and aspirations from them. A vindication of the rights of women is one of the trailblazing works of faith. Trailblazing means introducing a new idea or method, innovating or pioneering thoughts. Trailblazing means introducing a new ideas or methods. Okay. in feminism, innovating or pioneering ideas. Sure, that's mm, just wait 2 3 minutes.
Hello, anybody has wrote the name of the American captain?
I just wanted to confirm something. Do we have to memorize each one of the things word to word? Are you all going to memorize everything?
I think it's not possible.
Yeah,
We need to make our own note, the gist of it.
Not
it
at
is
all.
very difficult to memorize all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and remember it word to word.
We try.
So,
We have to find the key word, I guess, some key word,
yeah.
and the
Sir
gist of
said he'll
the.
be giving us the name of the book, right? So if he can, like,
He said so.
yeah, let's see. I think is this the last class today?
No, 29th is the last class.
Today is what? 27th.
27th.
Two more
Yes.
to go.
Uh,
Yes. So we can ask him to share the name of the book so that in case we want to just read it,
yes.
I think
Yes.
we'll retain more by reading rather than just memorizing some a few lines that we are writing in the
Exactly.
session. Na?
Exactly. It is not possible at all. Memorizing it.
Better to just write down the key notes and just search from the Google is better.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What is the book?
Otherwise, we cannot just follow exactly what he's saying because it is continuously going and we cannot just write down also. So better to just
Hmm.
search, the point out the notes
We
and
have to make our own research, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, that's better. It's the best way.
I tried looking it up on Google also, but whatever things I find are very vague, especially the research papers which we are instructed to look for. They're
Mm-hmm.
all very vague. They don't have anything specific. Very rare do you find something that, straight away you read once and you
Actually,
understand.
Preeti, actually, this paper itself is very dry and theoretical. So, unlike
I
MEG
understand
2,
that,
3,
but
and
it is
1,
not there. It is
your
so much.
imagination,
It is so
your
vast.
imagination now, it is, yeah, the
And also,
imagination
it
now
is not
where you can read and write your opinion is very less in this. So, that is why this paper is very dry and theoretical. Even if you understand things now, you have to be specific with a lot of facts. It's like writing a history answer where you have to just
Yeah.
write fact
Yes, we memorize the thing
pages
and
of
all.
facts, and you have no other choice to
Actually, yeah,
memorize.
you're right.
Yes.
I
So to
hope
memorize
To
all these
concepts,
memorize.
doubts
we
and about
Yes,
writing the
ma'am.
answer
Actually,
are
yes.
clarified there the other day when we are planning to kind of meet for the answers, for discussion of answering the questions. We have that new link, right?
it is not only for the session. For every session, it's better to just listen and point out everything and search by ourselves. It's the best way. because whenever they are just
Yeah.
going through, we
But
cannot
this
just find
topic
out
is
in
very vast.
YouTube.
I was just trying to look up something about feminism. Half the things
Yeah,
are very confusing. There is no clarity.
hmm. But
Hmm.
we
So
can
The
have it
opinion
from
no,
Google.
also is different.
I'm
feminism
not
is
We,
looking for
actually
the
not.
usual websites. I
Actually,
was looking for
feminism
some
term.
research papers, but it is not of
The
any
thing
help.
is,
It is
feminism
only.
is a vast subject.
Huh.
Maybe the feminism concept itself is very vast. So you have to come down to a conclusion where feminism is used by the writers in through literature, how they are trying to portray all this Mary Wollstonecraft and all. They wrote books. So in what do you call literature aspect, how feminism is used, and Virginia Woolf is one of the writers. So you cannot just Google it and saying that what is about feminism or feminism movement, but with the in list from the perspective of literature, how these people contributed to the feminism agendas and the theories. So that is how you have to look up. So you need to know who are the people you are studying in the syllabus, and through them you have to look up in the Google. You cannot simply type feminist theories or something like that, because all around the world for more than 300 years women and men are fighting for these you know rights and everything through so many movements and everything. Some people or the other, they just form a group and they have their own ideas. So you have to be very precise in what you're searching in the Google. And through the aspect of literature aspect, from the aspect of literature, you have to search all this, so then you will get a clear cut information sources.
Hello, Uttara ma'am. Hello, listen.
Yes,
Can you
tell
tell
me.
me? Can you tell me the easy way to learning British poetry, drama, and novel? Because it is a vast subject, so it is difficult for me. So, what is the easy way to learning the things?
That you guys have to find out on your own, because we are all finding it difficult in MA level. It is everything
There,
is difficult.
there is
We
no
can
easy
discuss.
way to learn.
Good evening, Uttara ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I just want to ask you that in our book there is some writer's name is there. You said that in Google we have to search according to the literature how the feminist movement are going on, and we have to understand this, and we can write in our own language, right?
Yeah, you can write, but the problem is there are terms. Unlike drama and everything, there are technical terms which they use. You have to use. So you have to keep reading and memorizing those terms. It's because it's a very theoretical
Okay.
paper. There are terms you have to, know. So that is why it is important. You have to keep reading to understand whatever you are reading. If you understand now, automatically you will start using those terms in your writings. You cannot simply reuse
Okay,
your
the
spoken
keywords
English
that
kind of a
study.
language for writing.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much.
Um,
We actually
Calling
have
me
to
ma'am, guys.
go
I'm
through
also
some
a student.
English literature jargon related words, so that those of you who are not from the literature background, they can actually go through that a book wherein you'll find all literature related jargon, and then you need to go through that, and that is what you can use in your responses. The problem here is that
Which
this is
book?
very very vast. No, there are some books
Which
available. I
book is it?
remember reading them a long, long time back. Even I would need to refer to something. I've not just a thought that otherwise it is not possible. We have to have some literature related jargon to be able to clear
Preeti,
this exam. And there's a lot of reading
li-
involved.
li-
Mm.
listen, ma'am.
Preeti,
I tell
Preeti.
I tell a professor. I talk with a professor. The professor tell me that the book you have achieved this book is not for student, because it is too much difficult. You know the MEG one have a 37 या 41 यूनिट है, तो थोड़ा समझना में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो इसीलिए मैंने बोला कि कोई इजी टेक्निक है क्या मैंने उसे लर्निंग करने में। because it is too difficult. Difficult.
Yeah.
धीरे धीरे करना शुरू कर दो, डिफिकल्ट इजी हो जाएगा अपने आप, लेकिन करना तो पड़ेगा सबको।
जी जी,
That's the
वही बात
point.
मैं MEG 1 का जो बहुत है। मेरा एक दोस्त ने मुझे भेजा था यूनिट 37 या यूनिट 41 का जो है सिलेबस, तो वो कवर कैसे करेंगे पेज बाई पेज? तो सिलेबस वगैरह तो होगा ना, तो उसे ग्रुप में भेज दोगे तो इजी वे हो जाएगा हमारे मैंने पढ़ने के लिए। कारण टाइम ज्यादा नहीं है ना, टाइम बहुत कम टाइम है, तो कम टाइम में ज्यादा पढ़ने का कोई तरीका है क्या? तो हमारा थोड़ा सा हो जाएगा क्योंकि ये बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट लगता है।
Okay, so pass on to our discussion now. So right now, I was dealing with vindication of the rights of women is one of the trailblazing, means very eye-catching uh,
Sir,
works.
sir, excuse
Hello.
me, sir. When we write about feminism, should we focus only on the 19th century and the early 20th century, or we can talk about what is in the 21st century too? Because the feminism in 21st century is very different from feminism in the 20th century.
Okay, right. Sure, that's it's one of the trailblazing works of feminism published in 1792. Wollstonecraft's work argued that the educational system of her time deliberately trained women. Who argued? Wollstonecraft's work. What he wrote in his writings, it showed that the educational system of her time deliberately trained women to be frivolous. Frivolous means not having any serious purpose or value. Frivolous means not having any serious purpose or value. Sure, women to be frivolous and incapable. I mean, they have no such intrinsic aim and aspirations. She um, told that uh, an educational system that allowed girls, she told that, or advocated that, an educational system that allowed girls the same advantages as boys would result in women who would be not only exceptional wives and mothers, but also capable workers. Means women can't only be regarded as wives and mothers, but also capable workers in many professions. Who Wollstonecraft just defined or opined. Okay, they are fit, suitable for doing different types of work. Okay, in every spheres of activity, they are fit. So capable workers in many professions. Other early feminists had made similar pleas. What what's told by Wollstonecraft also that we got the same by others, means same writings by others, or the same thought that we came to know given by others. Other early feminists had made similar pleas for improved education for women. But Wollstonecraft's work, her work, was unique in suggesting that the betterment of women's status be effected through such political change and the radical
Repeat that line
reform.
again.
Work was unique, but Wollstonecraft's work was unique. Many had given many views on feminism, but Wollstonecraft's work was unique in suggesting that the betterment of women's status be affected by, came into through such political change as the radical reform of national education system. Such change, she concluded, would benefit all society. Such change, who concluded that Wollstonecraft concluded, would benefit all society. So the publication of the vindication caused considerable controversy. The publication of vindication, that the book caused considerable controversy but failed to bring about any immediate reforms. So from 1840, however, members of the incipient members of the
Excuse me,
incipient
sir. Sir, the
American.
publication of, excuse me, sir. The
Hello,
publication
hello.
of vindication was caused controversy, but
Was considerable controversy but failed to bring about any immediate reforms. As controversy arose, so you can't reach your goal or reach the summit or apex. Okay, the goal that's just okay. So but failed to bring about any immediate reforms or reformations. From 1850, however, members of the incipient American members of the incipient American and European women's movement resurrected some of the books. Resurrected means the action or fact of resurrecting, the rising of resurrected. Incipient means beginning to happen or develop. Incipient means beginning to happen or develop. Resurrection or resurrected, the action or fact of resurrecting. So that is called American and European women's movement resurrected, started an action. Some of the books started writing something. Some of the books principles. Some of the books principles. It was a particular influence on American women's rights. It was a particular uh, influence on American women's rights. Pioneers such as Elizabeth and Stanton and Margaret Fuller. So,
Sir, Margaret what? Can
then
you?
Virginia, then you knew some lines about that's Mary Wollstonecraft and his publication. So now come on to discuss Virginia Woolf. Briefly, Virginia Woolf wants women to be free in every field. Virginia Woolf wants women to be free in every field. She states that the rights given to women who Woolf, she states that rights given to men about working with equal rights as men. Rights given to women about working with equal rights as men for wages or equal pay, having equal right in education, and sex equality should be given to women as well. Everything equally. It should be distributed equally as men have got. So first, Virginia Woolf, that is 1882 to 1941, was one of the most important female authors in the transitional period from Victorian age to the Edwardian age. Until her death at the age of 59, okay, it's passed out at the age of 59, or so because of her sad demise. So until her death at the age of 59, she published several novels. Who? Woolf.
Virginia Woolf.
Yes, Virginia Woolf. She published several novels, feminist essays, and held two classes in Cambridge about women and fiction. In this term, we would like to introduce the feminism aspects of her life and novels and give
Excuse me, sir.
an
Sir,
hello
she published several novels, feminism essays, and
and also held two classes. Well, means just two classes in Cambridge about women and fiction. Okay. In this term, we would like to introduce the feminism aspects of her life and novels and give an overview of the essays she wrote. After giving a short introduction with the most important facts about Virginia Woolf's life, our first intention is to define the theory of feminism and show how it affected Virginia already as a young girl and mainly as an independent woman. Later, later, three of her novels are taken to demonstrate how Virginia Woolf's development influenced her uh, life, influenced her literary output, not life, influenced her literary output. We also like to show the differences between Woolf's attitude towards women and men and compare it to theories of the feministic movement in the 20th century.
sir, in
So,
20th century.
20th century, that is 20th century, movement in 20th century. So many lines are there about that lady. So let's start. That's the types of feminism.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, Virginia Woolf belong to which, like United States or Europe? Which
Europe,
country?
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah. So now that's just to know now what is feminist theory. Feminist theory or feminism is a historically woman-led movement. Feminist theory or feminism is a historically women-led movement that calls for an end to sexism in all forms. Feminists strive for social justice for those who have been oppressed by the patriarchy. Patriarchy means, as I told, a system of a government or society in which the father or eldest male is head of the family. So feminists strive for social justice for those who have been oppressed by the patriarchs, means who have been oppressed or harassed or suppressed or tortured by the male or eldest member of their family. A system of power dominated by men in society. A system of power dominated by men in society. Although feminists may offer on the best way to accomplish this, feminism as a whole is concerned with bringing about a better society for women. Cool. Feminists tried and tried, and at last became successful in giving a right judgment to the females or women. As a whole is concerned with bringing about a better society for women, men, non-binary people, and everyone in between. Feminists like Simon de Beauvoir Maya Angelou and Mary Wollstonecraft want to create a better world where nobody is
Sir, please repeat
denied
the names.
opportunity, where nobody is denied
Sir, please repeat the names.
opportunity. Hello? Where
Hello, sir. Please repeat
nobody,
the names, sir.
there's Simon de Beauvoir, Maya Angelou, and Mary Wollstonecraft want to create a better, that they're called the feminist, that the stance follower of the feminist. Wollstonecraft want to create a better world where nobody is denied opportunity or respect as a result of their gender. So types of feminism, types of feminism. So we have that liberal feminism, that is called socialist feminism, radical feminism, uh, okay, and liberal feminism. Okay, so while all feminists, as you know the names of the feminists, okay, very soon I just uttered, while all feminists are united under a shared belief that one's gender should not determine one's role or treatment in society. Many feminists differ on the nuances of feminist theory. There are many levels different feminists might use to describe their beliefs. But three most prominent types of feminism are liberal feminism, socialist feminism, and radical feminism. And radical feminism. So, liberal feminism fights inequality within the structure of a liberal democracy. All these three types of feminism, what I told people now, liberal feminism, socialist feminism, and radical feminism. All three of these types of feminism are committed to fighting gender inequality. Remember, fighting gender inequality, but they have different methods of doing so. But they have different methods of doing so and are focused on different aspects of society. The following sections will delve into each of these branches of feminism in more details. So now let's start at first liberal feminism. Liberal feminism. Okay, liberal feminism. Liberal feminism, liberal feminism is rooted, liberal feminism is rooted in classical liberal ideology. Liberal feminism is rooted in classical liberal ideology, which promotes freedom, individualism, and equality. Which promotes freedom, individualism, and equality. It's not the goal of the liberal feminist to uproot societal structures. It's not the goal of the liberal feminist. As you know, liberal feminism means fights inequality within the structure of a liberal democracy. So it's not the goal of the liberal feminist to uproot societal structures. but to give people of all genders an equal place within those structures. Within those structures, they typically advocate for change. They typically advocate for change through legal and political reform. Through legal and political reform. An example of the liberal feminist approach, an example of the liberal feminist approach would be the way the movement for to criminalize marital rape. In this case, male dominance over women. In this case, male dominance over women was considered the natural order of things in the home,
Sir, please
but
repeat that last line.
that is uh, an example of the liberal feminist approach would be the way the movement had to criminalize marital rape. In this case, male dominance uh, over women was considered natural order of things in the home, but liberal feminist philosophers in the home, but liberal feminist philosophers and activists saw that this natural order was detrimental to women's safety and a violation of their rights, and they fought their way to victory through legislation. Another example of the liberal feminist method is the story of uh, Susan B. and Anthony, who was crucial during the women's suffrage. Women's suffrage, as I told, women's suffrage. Okay, so which aim to empower women by giving them a voice in politics. Women suffrage means they are deprived of casting their votes, so they wrote in favor of women's suffrage. Okay, so now person to discuss that is socialist feminism. Socialist feminism. Historical analysis indicates that all human societies historical analysis indicate that historical analysis indicates that all human societies have been or are marked by some degree of inequality between sexes. Even in the 21st century, there is an ongoing struggle against oppression of women in some societies. 21st century, there is an ongoing struggle against oppression of women in some societies. Although men are physically stronger, although men are physically stronger than women, socialist feminism supports the idea that women experience oppression, women experience means get oppression or feel oppression in various ways. Okay, they experience oppression or get oppression in various ways, including education, race, and class. Education, race, and class. Socialist feminism, socialist feminism is defined. Socialist feminism is defined as the struggle against capitalism and male supremacy or patriarchy. Socialist feminism doesn't exclusively focus on gender to account for women's position, but also attempts to incorporate incorporate means takes in a content something or a part of a whole, including incorporates incorporates incorporate an analysis of class and economic condition for women. Feminism is the belief and index idea. Feminism is the belief and idea of promoting equality between men and women, especially in all opportunities. Since women suffer most from oppression, feminism seeks to challenge women's power structure, roles and perception, mainly in modern societies. So now,
Sir, after a struggle, what you told?
modern societies. Yeah. Now, radical feminism. Radical feminism. Radical feminism is a perspective within feminism. Radical feminism is a perspective within feminism that calls for a radical reordering of a society. That calls for a radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social and economic
Sir, please repeat
contexts.
that line. Radical feminism is a perspective within the feminism that causes for.
That calls for a reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social and economic contexts, while recognizing that women's experiences are also affected by other social divisions such as in race, class, and sexual orientation. The ideology and movement emerged in 1960. Radical feminists
Excuse me, sir.
view uh,
Radical feminism is showing what? That means male domination or male power in
so,
economic status.
in which male supremacy is eliminated, should be eliminated. That is okay from the
Okay,
very root, eliminated in all social and economic context. Okay, a radical feminist view society fundamentally. Radical feminists view society fundamentally as a patriarchy in which men dominate and oppress women. Radical in a struggle to liberate means radical feminist uh, in a struggle they struggle in a, to liberate women and girls from exist girls to liberate women and girls from a perceived unjust society by challenging existing social norms and institutions. This struggle includes opposing sexual objectification of women, raising public awareness about such issue as rape and other violence against women, challenging the concept of gender roles. Radical feminists believe
Sir,
in
excuse me, sir. The radical
hello
feminism to liberate women and girls from
uh,
perceived in existing.
girls from a perceived unjust society. Okay, means unlawful society by challenging existing social norms and institutions. Existing means prevailing social norms and institutions. Ongoing. This struggle includes opposing sexual objectification of women, raising social awareness about such issues as rape and other violence against women, challenging the concept of gender roles. Radical feminists, radical feminists believe in equality between all genders. Radical feminists believe in equality between all genders. So now you got some lines about liberal feminism, social feminism, and what's that is
Radical feminism.
radical feminism. Radical feminism. That's the types of feminism. So most feminists, as a summary, most feminists agree on five basic principles. Most feminists agree on five basic principles: working to increase equality, working to increase equality, expanding human choice, eliminating eliminating gender
Sir, please
stratification,
slowly tell the five basic principles. First one is working to increase equality.
working to increase equality. You get me? Okay. Increase equality, not
Yes,
decrease
sir.
equality. Increase equality, expanding human choice, eliminating gender stratification, ending sexual violence, and promoting sexual freedom. Liberal feminism works within a liberal democracy. Liberal feminism works within a liberal democracy.
Sir, please repeat that fourth line. That one is I wrote working to increase equality, expanding human choice, ending sexual violence, and other two.
uh, uh, Working to increase equality, expanding human choice, eliminating gender stratification, gender division, ending sexual violence, and promoting sexual freedom. Liberal feminism works within a liberal democracy. Liberal feminism works within a liberal democracy to enact change through legislation. Change through legislation, okay? Through legislation. Socialist feminism connects socialist feminism connects the flaws of capitalism with gender inequality. Radical feminism rejects patriarchy entirely. Means male member of the society, patriarchy entirely. And the
Sir,
ideological
Sir, social
Hello.
feminism connect to the flaws of
Capitalism. Capitalism with gender inequality. Radical feminism rejects patriarchy entirely and the ideological and societal structure that uphold it. Although feminist theory has expanded to champion the struggles of all genders, although feminist theory has expanded to champion the struggles of all genders, it is still a relevant and influential movement. It is still a relevant and influential movement.
Sir, can you repeat please the conclusion you said about
Conclusion.
yeah feminism is what?
Okay, just wait. Radical feminism rejects patriarchy entirely and the ideological and societal structure that is prevalent in the society that uphold it. Although feminist theory has expanded to champion the struggles of all genders, it is still a relevant and influential movement. Sure, uh, that's the story. That's feminist movement. Uh, in India. In this note, we will make a review of the autonomous women's movement in India, feminist movement in India. In this note, we will make a, uh, a review of the autonomous women's movement in India, organized under the National Conference of Autonomous Women's Movement. Now we have to examine a couple of feminist theoretical perspectives. Now we have to examine a couple of feminist theoretical perspectives which are fundamental to the autonomous women's movement. Many contradictory terms, many contradictory terms many contradictory terms of argument turns of argument, but it remains a readable and accessible work, partly because of its playful fictional style. The main argument of
many contradictory term of argument. It
uh, there are many contradictory terms of argument, but it remains a but it remains a readable and accessible work, partly because of its playful fictional style. the main argument
Hello.
of the main argument of uh, room of one's self, written by a feminist, which was entitled Women and Fiction, which was entitled Women and Fiction in earlier drafts, is that a woman, a woman, a woman, a woman must have money and a room at her own if she is to write fiction. Okay, so just wait.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Who said this? That woman must have money and a room at her own if she's to write fiction.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Can anybody tell me when is our first semester exam?
First June, I think so. Means tentative
I
date.
think
Can
क्या
anybody
क्लास
tell me
खत्म हो
when is
गया? हेलो.
Can anybody tell me when is the first sem
June
exam?
month.
In the month of June.
June first week of June perhaps.
Sir, shall we
Or
have to deposit these notes?
notes, no, notes mean that's your assignments.
Yes. These assignments.
Okay. Okay, you'll given a demarcated period. So within that time, you have to submit there where it is required. Perhaps that's your study center, or you may send it to your that's sub center, Joydev here.
Okay, we will get that the notice.
Notice.
Hello, sir.
You'll get
Excuse
the
me, sir.
notice.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, I have some doubt, sir. Sir, what type of
First.
question is raised in the examination about the feminist theory. Tell something important question, sir.
Uh, Questions I will tell. Questions I have not yet prepared. I will tell.
Sir,
I will
sir.
tell questions later. Okay. Questions.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
I'll tell the question. Okay, I will
Sir,
see. I will just go through the
Sir,
questions of different years. Okay. How does
hello.
it
yes, sir.
come? Hello. Huh.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
is it
Okay.
possible for you to share some literature or some books which we can refer to online or maybe hard copies for this exam for literary criticism?
Okay. 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 After the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow is the that's seventh session. That is seventh block, and day after tomorrow, so we have to conclude. After
sir,
that, we'll try.
sir,
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
sir,
you. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Huh.
Sir, when will be started our first semester exam?
That's it told. That's whenever May told
First
very
week
first
of
week of
June.
June, first week of June, perhaps. Yes, this time it starts. This time usually that's IGNO exams start. December and June. Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes,
first June, sir.
Uh, One more thing,
December.
sir.
Yes,
Huh.
Sorry to
yes, sir.
interrupt.
December and
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, you are taking MEG-5, MEG-5 course, right? So those who are
Yes.
present here, can you make a group of that students and you can be the admin of that group so that we all students be in touch for MEG-5
That's
one group, for only MEG-5 one group, MEG-7 one group.
you make a group. You make a group. Because I
No,
am
no.
not taking so I can take up to amnesty because uh, I have got that's 6 topics to teach. It has been approved. MEG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after that, I can teach it. That's any whether MEG 10, 7 or 8, 9 like this. Up to 6 I can do. I can give my time for you. I can give you lectures on that. Okay, but not after MH6. It's
Sir,
beyond my limit. So,
can you share your contact number here if you don't mind, sir?
yes, yes, already I've given 93397 Already given nine three
933?
three seven seven 94247 93377 Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
sir, we have don't have
Okay.
any class tomorrow, no, sir?
Hello?
Sir, no. Yes, sir. Sir, no class tomorrow. Day after tomorrow,
No,
we
no,
have a
tomorrow
class.
also we have the class. Tomorrow we have the class.
And day after also. Okay, okay.
Huh,
Thank you.
tomorrow, okay. So we'll meet again for more 2 days. Tomorrow and the next. That's on Thursday.
Sir, at
Okay,
the
sir.
end of the class, you will share the notes and all.
Okay, after. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
One
sir.
more thing, sir. Sorry to disturb.
Thank
One
you,
more
sir.
thing. One
Thank you,
more
sir.
query, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Sir already gone.
It's not gone, it's late.
वही मेरा इंग्लिश थोड़ा सा कमजोर है तो इसलिए
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
For those who were asking about if you have to what to focus on this feminism, what I advise you to do is just focus on the blocks they are given on the LMS portal. Try to summarize them and get the ideas what is written in there, because when they will put the questions of the exam, they will refer to these blocks. So don't make yourself like lost going to Google and looking for new ideas. Okay. So I advise you and myself to focus on the blocks, because when they made the mentor meeting, they were like advising us to focus on the blocks because the questions they come from there.
But one more thing, sir, whatever
Thank you,
sir had
Master.
given today, whatever the notes he had said, those lines and those facts are not there in that book.
Yes,
I don't know
because
what
he's given us, you know what, he's given us the detailed like description of feminism, you
that
know.
radical feminism, those lines are not there in that book. And it is very tough every day, as I'm talking about myself. I am a working lady, and the timing is 6 to 8:30. It's very pathetic for me to sit continuous on a phone. And if so, I was asking if anyone having any notes, or if sir
You
will
know
give
what?
the.
For MEG-5, don't sit for the exam in June because it's bulky, you know, and you have to refer to different areas and theories. You know, when you write, you will find that you have to refer to drama, to fiction, to poetry. So just take your time and leave it for December. This is what I'm going to do. I leave the MEG-5 for December and I will sit for the exam because in
ପ୍ରଫୁଲ୍ଲ
June
ଭାଇ ବୁଝୁଛ ନା
it's
କିଛି?
kind of impossible, you know, because it's philosophy and we have to, you know, to know everything about it. You can't write like this without knowing, even if you don't read the novels, drama,
Oh,
and poetry, you won't be able to write literary criticism. Because
exactly, exactly.
when I started answering the assignment, you know, the questions in the assignment, I found that I have to refer to novels, dramas, and even poetry. So you have to be careful with that. You know,
So
don't
you
make
are
it
giving the
dry.
exam of MEG 2 and 3, I guess.
Maybe I will sit for MEG 1 and 2.
Okay.
You
My
know,
Thank
and
you,
question
I will
Master.
is,
start with poetry. It's a tough, very tough subject, in fact, but I think it's I will start with it. You know, I want just to get rid of it.
my
You know,
query is, if the IGNOU is providing the book, why don't we make the notes from that lines or from that book?
you
We can
know,
make it by our
Yes.
own.
no, no, no. The professor is giving us the gist. You know, it's like a summary of all the theories, so you can understand what's going on. This is what I understood because the 5 blocks we went through, what I noticed is that he's given us like the juice of this subject, you know. So you have to know how to use these information. Don't memorize it and just write it as
Excuse me, excuse me, Majda ma'am. What is your code name? Please tell me.
what?
What is your code name? MEG ka. What is your code name?
Ah,
This is
Can you
I
tell
have
me?
MEG-5.
MEG-1, MEG-2, and 3 and 5.
Same code.
Yes, for
Yes,
everybody it's the same code. It's MEGOL.
yes. So it's not
We
easy,
need to
you
take
know.
4 only.
Are you writing
Yes.
any note?
You didn't attend the MEG-1, 2, and 3?
Sorry, ma'am. Are you a foreigner?
Yes, I am foreigner. I'm not Indian.
Thank you, Mazda.
Thank you, Tansuri. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Good night.
Good.
Hello, Majda ma'am. I the gone. Anyone can not tell me what is the syllabus? Hello, Uttara ma'am. Can you send the syllabus in this group? क्या सब निकल Why until now you also left? Hello. Hello ପ୍ରଫୁଲ୍ଲ ଭାଇ ଅଛ ନା ତମେ ନା ପଳେଇଲଣି? ଜଣେ ଆମର ଏଠି ଓଡିଆ ପିଲା ଅଛନ୍ତି। Hello, anyone can hear me? Hello. कोई रिप्लाई नहीं था।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ସଂଗ୍ରାମ ବାବୁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି କି ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ମାନେ କେହି ଗୋଟେ ରିପ୍ଲାଏ କଣ ଦଉନାହାନ୍ତି ଓଡିଆ ପିଲା କେହି ଗୋଟେ ଦଉନାହାନ୍ତି
ଅଛି କହୁଛି
ସବୁ ତାଙ୍କ ଇଂଲିଶ ରେ
ଟିକେ
ଗାଇ
ଥଣ୍ଡା
ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି।
ହେଇଯାଇଛି, ଜର ହେଇଯାଇଛି ତ ଥଣ୍ଡା ଫଣ୍ଡା ହେଇଛି।
ଆପଣ
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ
ଯୋଉ
ସେ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ ପ୍ରସ୍ପେକ୍ଟସ ଟା ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ବୁଝିଲେ ସେଇ ପ୍ରସ୍ପେକ୍ଟସ ରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କେତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ଦେଇଛି କୋଡ ଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ ଦେଇଛି MEG 1 ରେ କଣ 2 ରେ କଣ 3 ରେ କଣ ଏମିତି ସବୁ ଦେଇଛି ତା ଦେହରୁ ଆପଣ କ୍ରେଡିଟ ବେଷ୍ଟ ଚଏସ୍ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଏଟା CBCS ତେଣୁ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଇଏ ଗୁଡା ମାନେ ଇଏ ଗୁଡାକ ଅପ୍ଟ କରିଛନ୍ତି ତା ଭିତରେ 1 2 3 5 ଅଛି ମୋର ମନେକର 5 7 10 4 ଅଛି ଆଉ କାହାର କଣ ଅଛି ଏମିତି ସବୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କମ୍ପଲସରୀ ପେପରଟା 5ଟା ହେଲା କମ୍ପଲସରୀଟା ଲିଟରାରୀ କ୍ରିଟିସିଜିମ୍ ଲିଟରାରୀ ଥିଓରୀ ଆଣ୍ଡ କ୍ରିଟିସିଜିମ୍ ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି କମ୍ପଲସରୀଟା ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ
ଆପଣ
ତ
ଟିକେ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ
ଆର
କରିପାରିବେ
ଗୋଟେ
ନା
ବି ଅଛି
କେମିତି କଣ ସିଲାବସ ଟା?
ହଁ ହବ ମୋର କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଜି ଟିକେ ଦେହ ଖରାପ ଅଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ତଥାପି ପାରିବି ଆପଣ ବୋଧେ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଇଗ୍ନୋର ପ୍ରସ୍ପେକ୍ଟସ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ନା ନାଇଁ
ଇଗ୍ନୋର ପ୍ରସ୍ପେକ୍ଟିଭ
ବ୍ରଚରଟା ସେଇଟା ଅଛି ନା ଆପଣଙ୍କ
କୋଉଟା
ଆପଣ
କୁହନି?
ଏଡମିସନ ଫର୍ମ ଟା
ହଁ
ଏଡମିସନ
ଅଛି ଅଛି
ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ
ଅଛି ଅଛି।
ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ ଫର୍ମ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ନା
ହଁ
ସେଇଠି
ଅଛି।
ଆପଣ ଅଲରେଡି ଚୁଜ୍ କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି କି ମାନେ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ କୋଡ ଗୁଡା ଆପଣ ଅଲରେଡି ଚଏସ୍ କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ସେଟା ହେଲା
ହଁ ମୋର ତ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଡ୍ରାମା ନୋଭେଲ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଉ
ହଁ
ବ୍ରିଟିଶ
ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ହଁ
ସେଟା
ସେଇଗୁଡା
କରିଛି କିନ୍ତୁ
ଠିକ ଆଉ
ନା ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ MEG 1 ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଅଛି
ହଁ
ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଡ୍ରାମା
ହଁ
ହଁ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ପୋଏଟ୍ରି MEG 1 ରେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ପୋଏଟ୍ରି ଅଛି
ହଁ ହଁ
ବ୍ରିଟିଶ
ହଁ
ପୋଏଟ୍ରିରେ ତାର ୟୁନିଟ ପାଖାପାଖି 37 କି 41 ଟା ୟୁନିଟ ଅଛି।
ହଁ ସେଇଟା ଭାଷ୍ଟ କୋର୍ସ ଏଟା MA କରିବେ ଆପଣ ଆଉ କିଛି ଛୋଟିଆ କଥା କି
ହଁ
ଏଟା ପୁରା
ସେ ବା
ଡିଟେଲ
ବହୁତ
ପଢିବେ
ଲଙ୍ଗ କୋର୍ସ
ଖେଳିବେ
ଦେଇଛି
ମନ
ତାକୁ
ଦେଇକି
ମୁଁ
ପଢନ୍ତି
ମୁଁ ଆମ ସାରଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲୁ କି ସାର୍ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଯୋଉ ଆସୁଛି କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ମାନେ ସିଲାବସ ଯୋଉ
ହଁ
ଆସିଛି ମାନେ ସମ୍ଭାବ୍ୟ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଯୋଉଟା ପଡିବ ସେଇ ଟାଇପର କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ଦେଲେ ଆମେ ପଢାପଢି କରିଛୁ ଆଉ ଟୋଟାଲି ୟୁନିଟ
ହଁ ସେଇଟା
37
ତ
ଟା ତ
ଆପଣ
ତୁମେ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ
ମାରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ
କରିପାରିବନି ନା
ଏରା
ତୁମେ ଯଦି
ଆସୁଥିବ
ଏମିତି
ଇଏରେ
ନା
ଏଇ
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ
ଯୋଉ
ଭାଇ ତୁମେ ଯଦି MEG 1
ହଁ
37 ଟାକୁ
କୁହନ୍ତୁ
କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିବ ୟୁନିଟ ତାହେଲେ MEG 2 3 4 5 ରହିଲାଣି ତାକୁ ପୁଣି କେବେ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିବ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ?
ସେଇଟା ତ ସେଇଗୁଡା ସବୁ ପଢିକି ବୁଝିବେ ଯାହା ଯାଇକି ନିଜ ମନରୁ ଲେଖିବେ ଆଉ କିସ ଆଉ କିଛି ସବୁ
ସେଇ
ପଢିକି
ହେଲା
କଣ
ସେଇ
ମୁଖସ୍ଥ କରିବାନି
ନା ନା
ନିଜ ଓନ୍
ମୁଖସ୍ଥ କଥା
ମାଇଣ୍ଡ
ନୁହେଁ ସେଇ
ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ ଟା ଆପଣ ଜାଣିବେ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଯିବେ ବୁଝିଯିବେ ବୁଝିଗଲେ ଯେମିତି ଓଡିଆ
ହୁଁ
କହିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି
ହୁଁ
ଆପଣ ସେମିତି ଲେଖିବେ ଆଉ କିସ ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି
ହଁ
କଥା ଆଉ ଆମେ
କ୍ଲାସ ଟା କରିବାର ଜିନିଷ ହଉଛି ଏଇଆ ମାନେ ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ସାରଙ୍କ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ସେଥିପାଇଁ କ୍ଲାସ ଟେ କରାହଉଛି କାରଣ କ୍ଲାସ ଟା କରିଥିଲେ ତମେ ବୁଝିଛ ଜିନିଷଟା ନହେଲେ ଲେଖିଦେଇ ପାରିବ ଭାବି ଦେଇକି
ହଁ ସେଇଆ ଯାହା ଏପଟ ସେପଟ କରିବା ଆଉ ତାପରେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଟା ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ଦେଲେ ସେଠି ଟିକେ ମାର୍କ ଆସିଯିବ ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ମାର୍କ ପାସ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବା ଅଧିକ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଆପଣ ଲେଖିଲେଣି
ଟେକ୍ନିକ
ନା?
ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ବୋନସ୍ ନା ମ ସେଇଟା କଣ ମୋର ଟାଇମ ହବ ମୁଁ ବା କ୍ଲରିକାଲ ଚାକିରି ମୋର ଟାଇମ କାହିଁ ଚଲେଇଛି ଏଇନିକା ମୁଁ
ଆପଣ
ଖାଲି ମୋର ଟିକେ ନଲେଜ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି କିଛିଟା ଶିଖିବି ଜାଣିବି ମୁଁ ଆଉ କଣ ଏଇ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ହବନି କଣ ମୋର ଏଜ୍ ବି ହେଇଗଲାଣି ବର୍ଷେ ଜାଗାରେ 2 ବର୍ଷ ଲାଗିବ ମତେ ପାଠକୁ 2 ବର୍ଷ ଜାଗାରେ ଟୋଟାଲ କୋର୍ସ 4 ବର୍ଷ ବି ମତେ ଲାଗିପାରେ ମୋର ଖାଲି ଶିଖିବାର ପଢିବାର ଅଛି
ହୁଁ ହୁଁ
ଏଇଆ କଥା ଆଉ
ଆପଣ ତାହେଲେ
ଜାଣିବାର
କ୍ଲୋରିକାଲ ଜବରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଅଲରେଡି
ହଁ ବା ମୁଁ ବା ବ୍ଲକରେ ତହସିଲ ସବ କଲେକ୍ଟର ଅଫିସ ଏଗୁଡା ସବୁ କାମ କରୁଛି ଆମର ସେଇଗୁଡା
ଓହୋ
ଚାକିରି ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ
କେ-
କ୍ୟାଡର ଇଏ ଜବ
ଆପଣ
ମୁଁ
କୋଉ
ଜଣେ
ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟରେ ଏଟା ଯାଉଛି?
ସେଦିନ
ହଁ କହିଥିଲି ଯେ କୋଉ
ସେଦିନ
ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ପୁଣି
ଫୋନ
ଆପଣଙ୍କର?
କରିଥିଲା ମୁଁ ମୟୂରଭଞ୍ଜ ସିଏ ଚାକିରି କରିଛି ବୁଝିଲେ ରହୁଛି
ଓହୋ ଆପଣ
ବାଲେଶ୍ଵରରେ
ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ରେ ଜଣା ପଡୁଛି ଆଉ
ଛୁଟି ଗୁଡା ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ରହୁଛି ୱାର୍କିଂ ଡେ ଗୁଡା ମୟୂରଭଞ୍ଜରେ ଅଛି ଆଉ ମୋର ସେ ସେଣ୍ଟରଟା ମୁଁ ଏଫଏମ୍ ଅଟୋନମସରେ ଚୁଜ୍ କରିଛି ବୁଝିଲେ। ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ମ ଆପଣ
କେତେ କଣ
ବ୍ଲକ
ଆପଣଙ୍କର
ଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ
ସାଲାରୀ ତଥାପି କେତେ କଣ ମିଳିଯାଉଛି ଭାଇ?
40 ପ୍ଲସ୍ 43 4 ଏରିକ ଆଉ ବଢି ବଢି ଚାଲିଲାଣି 12 ବର୍ଷ ଚାକିରି ହେଲାଣି ମୋର 12 years
12 ବର୍ଷ ହେଇଯିବ। ତାହେଲେ
11
ଭଲ
ବର୍ଷ
ଅଛି।
11 ବର୍ଷ 11 ରୁ 2011 ରୁ
ଭଲ
12 13
ଅଛି।
ବର୍ଷ କ୍ଲାରିକାଲ ଆଉ କେତେ ମିଳିବ ସେଇ 45 ପାଖାପାଖି ହଉଛି ଆଉ 40 ପ୍ଲସ୍ ହଉଛି ଆଉ କୋଟି କୋଟା ଯାଉଛି ଆଉ
ତାହେଲେ
ସିନିୟର
ମୁଁ କହିଲି
ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ
ଆପଣ
ଅଛି ମୁଁ senior।
ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ ଆମଠୁ ବହୁତ ବଡ ତାହେଲେ।
ହଁ ନିହାତି ନା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ବଡ ଠିକ ଚାଲିଛି ସଂସ୍ଥା ଆଉ
ନା ମୁଁ ସେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଯୋଉ ନାହାନ୍ତି ନା ସବୁ ଆମର ସେ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ବି ତାଙ୍କ ନମ୍ବର ଅଛି। ମୁଁ ବାସ୍ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଚିହ୍ନା ଜଣା ହେବା ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁଛି।
ମାନେ ହବ ଯେ
ବାସ୍ ଟିକେ
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର
କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ଠିକ ଠାକ
ସେମାନେ
ହେଇଗଲେ ଚିହ୍ନା ଜଣା ହେଇଗଲେ ମୁଁ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ତୁମ ନୋଟ ବୋର୍ଡ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ ଇଜିଲି ହେଇପାରିବ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ମାନେ ଶିଖିପାରେ ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ଶିଖିପାରେ ତାଙ୍କଠୁ।
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଇଏ ଯୋଉ 1 2 3 ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କର ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଟିକେ ସେୟାରିଂ କଲେ ହବ ତା ବାଦରେ ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ଇଏର ସହାୟତା ନିଅନ୍ତୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଗୁଗୁଲରେ ଆସୁଛି ଆଉ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବରେ ଆସୁଛି କିଛି କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଦଉଛି ତାପରେ କେତେ ଗୁଡା ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ ତାର ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ମୋ ପାଖକୁ ଆସିଥିଲା ସେ ମେସେଜ ସେମାନଙ୍କର 150
ନା
ଟଙ୍କା
ନା
ଦେଲା ବେଳକୁ
ମୁଁ
ଚାରିଟା
ଅଲରେଡି
ଇଏ
ମୁଁ ଅଲରେଡି ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଲେଖା ଲେଖି କଲିଣି।
ବଢିଆ
କଲେଣି
କଥା
ଆଉ
ତାହେଲେ
ମୁଁ ସେ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ସେ ଶଶାଙ୍କ ଶେଖର ଜଟିଆ ଭାଇ ଜଣେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ
ହୁଁ ହୁଁ
କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ ଆନ୍ସର ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି ଅଲରେଡି ଲେଖିଲିଣି ଆଉ କିଛି ଗୁଗୁଲ ମିଶେଇକି ଲେଖୁଛି ଏମିତି କରି ଲେଖୁଛି।
କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡା କେମିତି ପାଇଲେ ଆପଣ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କଣ ପାଇଲେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କେମିତି
କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ତ
ମାନେ ଯୋଉ
ସେଇ ଇଗ୍ନୋ ସାଇଟ ରେ ଅଛି
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ କଣ ଓହୋ ସେଇ
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ
କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍
କୋଶ୍ଚେନ
ଗୁଡାର ଆନ୍ସର ଲେଖିବେ ସିଏ କଣ
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ
କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଇଗ୍ନୋ
କୋଶ୍ଚେନ
ବାଲା ଦେବେ ନା ଆମେ ଆମର
ସେମାନେ
କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ବନେଇବୁ
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମର ଯାହା ଯାହା କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ସେ କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ସହ ଆନ୍ସର ପଠେଇ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି।
ହୁଁ
ପଠେଇ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ତାପରେ ମୁଁ ବି ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡା
ହଁ ଯେ
କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ଡାଉନଲୋଡ କରି ରଖୁଥିଲି ଗୁଗୁଲରୁ।
ହୁଁ ସେଟା ତ ଠିକ ମୋ କହିବା
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ
କଥା ହଉଛି କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡା ଆପଣ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟରେ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡାକ କେମିତି ମାନେ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉଗୁଡା ସେଇଗୁଡା ତ ସେଇଟା ତ ମୁଁ ବୁଝୁଛି
ହଁ
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହଁ ମ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡାକ
ହଉ
ସେମାନେ ଯୋଉଗୁଡା ପଠଉଛନ୍ତି ନା ଇଗ୍ନୋ ବାଲା କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପଠେଇବେ ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ପଚାରୁଛି କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କିଛି ଆସିବ ନା
ନା
ଯୋଉଗୁଡା କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଏମାନେ ଆମର ପିଲାମାନେ
ନା ଯୋଉ ଏକା କୋଶ୍ଚେନ ଆକ୍ସନ
ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ ହେଲାଣି ଆଉ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ ହେଇଗଲାଣି କାଟି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ ହବନି କଥା ହେଇ ହବନି ସେମାନେ ବୋଧେ କାଟିଲେଣି ନା କଣ କଲେଣି ଡିସକନେକ୍ଟ କଲେଣି ବୋଧେ ଶୁଭୁନି ଆଉ ଭଲ ଅପଡାଉନ ରହୁଛି ହଉ
ଠିକ ଅଛି।
ତାହେଲେ ରଖିଦି ପରେ କଥା ହଁ ମୋର ଦେହଟା ଟିକେ ଭଲ ନାହିଁ ତ ଜର ହେଇଯାଇଛି ତ ହଉ ରଖୁଛି ଭାଇ ରଖୁଛି ଭାଇ